Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I'm Rick Plasket, a certified business and leadership coach here in Columbus, Ohio. And today I've got a very special guest, Domingo Gonzalez, and he is the owner of BetterCans. More importantly, he is the specialist in aluminum two-piece cans that make your beverage feel better and taste better. And he's going to be sharing a little bit about his business challenges, some of his best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business today. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications on future conversations. Domingo, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate you having me in Business Spotlight.
Super, super. Hey, listen, let's give the viewers a little bit of a overview into what's your background and give us a little bit of your description of what Better Cans is and how they contribute to the world of business.
Absolutely, Rick. Absolutely. So my name is Domingo Gonzalez, and I have been in the metal packaging industry for the last 27 years. I mean, in June, I'm going to accomplish 28 years of experience working in these wonderful two-piece aluminum cans for beverages. I started as a can maker back in 1998 with a very strong and reputable can maker down in Baja California, Mexico. And then after that, I joined I will say the strongest aluminum producer for the industry. So we were supplying metal for two-piece aluminum cans, metal for aluminum bottles under the DNI process, and also end stock to produce ends. And then after a very nice journey, I joined Nestle, which is a brown, one of the largest brown owners in RTD beverages for coffee, sparkling water, and beverages in general. And after, a very nice journey with them, I decided in 2018 that I needed to start my consulting firm. My consulting firm because I wanted to leverage what I learned in those three, I will say, scenarios as a can maker, as an aluminum producer or supplier, and as a user with one of the biggest brand owners in this industry. So I started, my consulting firm, and BetterCans is in reality is to make better cans, under the DNI process. And when I say better cans, I'm talking about technical audits to existing two-piece aluminum can making lines. I'm talking about training the next generation of can makers. I'm talking about process improvement. Can making and end making lines are not perfect by any means, so there is always room for improvement. And that's where Better Cans gets, not only theory, but hands-on to improve those lines. And also for very complex and difficult problems on the line. You name it, improve ironing issues, tear-off issues, spoilage issues. We pretty much tackle what is special defects on the line or special issues on the line, and in order to make those lines run better and make, at the end of the day, better cans.
Super, super. So listen, let's set the stage for the viewers out there. What's the ownership structure of Better Cans? Are you the sole owner and founder, or do you have outside investors?
Well, at the moment, I'm the sole owner, founder, and president of this company. So everything that has been done since April of 2018, it has been under my direction. So I have had, Employees, we go up and down depending on the type of projects and the needs for, to succeed in certain innovation projects or execution projects. But at the end of the day, I'm the only one who is taking BetterCans to the next phase, to the next step.
Great, great. So let's dive into that. Being the only one on an average day, week, month. What percentage of the time do you invest in growing the business, working on it? And what percentage of your time is committed to working in the business, providing the guidance and the consulting? And I know that you've got a special event coming up this next month, but what's that percentage breakdown? How much of it are you building the business versus actually delivering on the business?
Well, this is my work at BetterCans is not, I don't consider a work, it's
Hmm.
a 24/7 for me. Why? Because, this is what I love to do, to be honest.
Hmm.
And so it's if it's Sunday, if it's Saturday, if it's Monday, I'm always um delivering or thinking about what else can be done for BetterCans. So, I have a typical schedule, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. But in reality, I'm always looking for doing something for the industry.
Hmm.
So if I say, between working and developing better cans, so I will say 80% is execution, 20% is pretty much thinking about what else, marketing, and then developing the next thing for better cans.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Super. Thank you so much. So you mentioned marketing, and every business doesn't want to be the best kept secret. And I'm sure that you and Better Cans don't want to be the best kept secret in your market as well. So in the area of marketing, what's really working for you right now?
Uh, well, between using social media, between using reputable magazines in the industry, so I will say is recommendations to my or our work, delivery on projects, and also is recommendations from my colleagues that there is a very special company in this metal packaging industry called BetterCans that can execute and make things happen. So I will say that's the best reference that I have had from my colleagues.
Super, super. And referrals and recommendations from colleagues and from current customers absolutely is the lifeline of any business. And there's actually a statistic that says 65% of all business transactions are word of mouth. And so taking that 20% of the time that you're investing in that marketing and being as sharp as you can in that area will add your next 20% of business growth simply by focusing on that word of mouth and making that into a repeatable system instead of a, hey, I hope that they're going to come if I do this. So again, congratulations that you've got that and that that's working for you. What's uh what's your biggest opportunity for growth in 2026?
Uh, well, right now, like you mentioned before, we're concentrating all of our efforts, developing this seminar, a young
Hmm.
packaging for future generations. Why? Because that seminar, it's gonna be the stepping stone that it's gonna take us to the next phase, which is, not only classroom training, but we want to develop what is the hands-on training. So classroom and training on the floor. So I would
Super.
say that's pretty much what I mean. We're concentrating our efforts to develop the best seminar and technical event in the industry to develop existing can makers and the next generation of can makers.
Awesome. Awesome. So as you do this workshop and you've got your, let's call it a target-rich environment, those people that are coming to your seminar are going to be your potential new customers. Have you systemized that marketing approach of how do we and what do we do, connecting with them to get them to attend? And then once they have attended, what are the next three, four steps, whatever you have to do to take them from maybe they don't even know you yet to buying from you? Have you mapped that whole process out? You've got the one event. I think that's fabulous. Looking forward to it. Build up before and a system of follow up afterwards is the difference between good and great.
Yes. So actually, let me explain you a little bit about this seminar. A young packaging for future
Hmm.
generations. So the seminar includes 14 technical lectures. Okay, and BetterCans is leading or delivering two of those lectures, two out of 14. So the first
Hmm.
one is Introduction to Can Making. Okay. And the last one, in order to close the seminar, is the state of the can making beverage industry. And those lectures are structured this way. So it's 5 minutes who you are. So what is your role in the industry? That's where I explain what is BetterCans and what BetterCans, what's the main role of BetterCans in the industry and what BetterCans has done and can be done for all the attendees and customers in this industry. So and then we have 50-minute knowledge share on a certain topic, which is introduction to can making. And then right at the end, we have 5 minutes to summarize in 5 bullet points the key aspects of that lecture. And then at the end, after that, we have two questions from the audience in that lecture. So
Hmm.
after the seminar, we have a questionnaire, a survey about, what did you like the most and ways to improve. And that's when I
Hmm.
get in contact with all the attendees via email. And then I follow up with them in terms of what else can we do for you in order to understand properly every single lecture. Do you need to get in contact with one of the speakers? How can we leverage your time, outside of the seminar? And also we do
Perfect.
follow-ups on, very specific questions like you mentioned this aspect in your lecture during the seminar. What do you mean about that? Or how can we improve this situation? And that's when we support those type of questions outside of the seminar.
Fabulous. Fabulous. That sounds like you've really got your plan together there. Let's now kind of go up to 20,000 feet and fast forward beyond your seminar next month. Where do you see your business? Where do you see Better Cans in 3 to 5 years?
Uh, we want BetterCans to be that entity developing existing and the next generation of can makers with the right foundation on can making and end making. Okay, so for that, what we're doing is we're working very hard to get that center of excellence. When I say center of excellence, it's gonna be not only classroom training or a technical lab, where we do where we can do testing on cans and ends, for dimension or performance. But what we want a site to produce and do hands-on training. So in that way, we can connect all the theory with practice on the
Hmm.
production floor. And that's our main goal. And that's what we want for BetterCans to be that entity or reference in the can making industry for the next generation.
So, and that's a really critical point I want to reemphasize there. While your business is better cans and making cans, your passion and what you really want to see and where you see yourself in 3 to 5 years is as the recognized trainer of the next generation of people who you empower to make the next generation of cans. Is that correct? So it's people and cans.
Yes, Rick, you're totally right. And let me tell you this. So, the metal packaging industry. So, I'm going to concentrate on two-piece aluminum cans for beverages. So, it's
Hmm.
growing. So, RTD beverages are growing, and we see more categories like non-alcoholic beer and mocktails and energy drinks and kombuchas, all of that. And for that, because of that growth, all suppliers, OEMs, and people who are involved in this industry, they concentrate on making more equipment, making
Hmm.
more access to raw materials, new rolling mills, cast house, more coating. So they are increasing capacity and all of that. But who is going to run those lines? So,
Hmm.
what about the people on the floor? So, we need that people with the right, foundation on can making in order to excel in those lines, in order to, I hope, do innovation with the right foundation, and also not only improve efficiencies and not only lower spoilage and then impact conversion costs of the cans and ends, but be able to go beyond that, process improvement and do innovation in
Right.
cans, right? So I think we're the only entity right now who is committed to develop that next generation of can makers on a neutral ground. Because better cans, I mean, and I will be very specific. Better cans is a neutral entity. Okay, so on a neutral ground, which means everybody is welcome and everybody will have access to our training, classroom and hands-on. Okay. And then with the right foundation, and that's the reason why we're doing collaboration with the main entities, the main OEMs, the main coating
Hmm.
supplier, the main lubricants and ink suppliers, because we want that information to come from the source, from the main source to the next generation of can makers. So I didn't have that opportunity when I started my career back in 1998, 99. So it took me years to understand and connect all the dots about metal, tooling, equipment, and KPIs for and then main actors in the industry. So I don't want that to happen to the next generation of can makers. What I want is to give them a solid foundation so in that way we can grow this industry and then we have plenty of good quality cans for the beverage industry.
Domingo, it's absolutely evident in your passion and the way you present that of how committed you are and how much you love the industry and working with people. And I commend you for that. Again, I can just feel it as we're talking back and forth. And we have definitely covered a lot of ground in our conversation today on business, on the future. And for those of you that are watching, I highly encourage you to save this and come back a few times because Domingo has really shared a lot of great nuggets on where the business is and how to position for a future. And I love that part. As we wrap up, I want to hit a section of our interview here, Domingo, that I call the rapid fire questions. Looking for just a couple of questions here. First thing that comes to your mind. You ready for these?
Absolutely, Rick.
Super. Domingo, what do you consider your key to success?
I will say my passion. Why?
Awesome.
Because I love this process. I love this industry. I mean, since I was a kid, I was, in love with manufacturing, with aluminum. I mean, it's hard to believe, but I love aluminum, two-piece aluminum cans and beverages. So I will say, that combination between RTD beverages and aluminum and manufacturing and this industry is the perfect storm to keep me going. And then
Super.
developing and delivering what I like to see this industry to succeed.
What's a piece of advice that you would give to another business owner today?
I would say the the growth is not, in my point of view, it shouldn't be short term. So, I mean, the growth and the successful of a business is always long term. So when we think long term goals, so I mean, we can build a better and stronger strategy. So
Super.
and that's what it's BetterCans doing. So we're aiming for the long-term success, not short-term. I mean, it's very unlikely for us,
Right.
and we don't want to. We want long-term, big impact through the years.
Super. Next question. If you could choose one area of your business that you could immediately improve and tomorrow it was exactly what you wanted, what would that one area of your business be?
I will say marketing,
Okay.
marketing, and getting to more people in this industry so they completely understand what Better Cans is all about and also what Better Cans can do for the industry. With 27 plus years of experience on the metal side, which is considered the black box in can making, and also being a can maker, in better cans, and also a user, of those two-piece aluminum cans, I would say, I would like to reach more audience in order to leverage better cans. So in that way, we both can succeed in this industry. It's not a one team effort. I need customers and I need suppliers to support each other to succeed in this industry.
That's right. Fabulous. You do that. There is nothing that will kill a company quicker than being the best kept secret in their market. Okay. Marketing is absolutely the lifeblood of every single business. Hey, listen, before we get to the final question of the day, if there's somebody watching this video and watching the interview and they want to get in touch with you, Domingo, what's the best way for them to do that?
Uh, we're in LinkedIn, so it's Better Cans LLC. We're in Instagram as well, Better Cans. Actually, in those social media websites, I have my phone number and also my email address. So I will be more than happy to get in contact with new customers or people who wants to get into this industry. I'm always open to hear from those new entities.
Fabulous, fabulous. So here's the final question of today. Domingo, what do you find most inspiring?
Um, the unknown. I
Ooh,
really like the unknown because that keeps me alive. I really like to be out of the comfort zone, and if I don't know the answer, guess what? I know who can help me out to answer that question. So
that's
I'm not
fabulous.
afraid of the unknown. I'm not afraid of, new challenges. And actually, that's what I want. And that keeps me alive, the unknown and challenges.
That's awesome. Hey, Domingo, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your journey. And for you, the audience, thank you for watching today. We're inspired by what I heard from Domingo. And folks, make it a great day and bye for now.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.